Hello. All right, today I want to talk about, I think a lot of people feel like distress when they are single because they don't have the partner that they feel that they want or that they feel would complete them or that they feel that they deserve. You know, a lot of people out there think that I have this and this and this in my life together, maybe, and so therefore, where is the person that I've been told that is the other half of this picture? I guess I feel what I've come to feel for myself is that if I am single, I know that I can have inner peace because of when you've shown up for yourself and done your inner work, that storm inside of you, you can settle it. That doesn't mean that it will never get stormy. It just means that you have like the toolkit to navigate your way back to calm waters. It's so hard talking to the camera to just like be a normal human. I can't even express to you how like much the, I guess, performing, speaking what is on your mind for the camera like trips you up. Yeah. If you are in that place where unto yourself, let's see, if you are letting the fact that you don't have that partner that you're seeking be a source of distress, if your time alone is not fulfilling because of that desire, I think that that is actually a sign. I think that that's indicative of the reason that you're not attracting that into your life, because there is a codependent need that you are attaching to that desire or that wish or something. There's something that you are not being provided, that you're not actually holding yourself accountable to provide for yourself, that you are waiting on somebody else to come in, Superman to fly in and save you from. Superman does not come. You have to be Superman for yourself. You have to save yourself. Anything that you're facing. External assistance from people you trust can be a huge piece in that, but ultimately, if you're getting it from outside of yourself, it'll never be enough because you're not providing it for yourself from within. And as long as you're placing that need or expectation on what you're looking for, as long as you're not feeling peace within yourself, providing it for yourself, you are just going to attract codependent dynamics. That's all you're going to be capable of building. In fact, these are all my opinions. Like I say, I've gotten to the point where I can be at peace alone. But I think what my recent dating, talking phase, whatever you want to call it, experiences have highlighted for me is that when a good thing actually does show up, a genuine connection actually does show up, man, the last time, I was so quick to abandon all that I'd learned about providing that stuff for myself, and so quick to expect that other person to provide all these things that I'd been waiting for all this time, rather than just letting them be as they are and continuing to prioritize like my peace and providing for myself. And I think in that situation, that person actually was not prioritizing things enough or something, or like some of what was making me feel bad about what that person was not doing was valid, but being distraught about it was no solution to that. I think accepting that that's where that person was at, and trying to set the boundaries that I tried to set that then caused that person to whatever, that caused things to go south. I had seen the patterns developing sooner than I started to detach. And I think that was a big part of what I had to learn about was, anyway, that's all emotional motion sickness, I've come to realize, like, it takes both the other person, the genuine connection of you both seeing each other and feeling, that lightning bolt hit, and also both being willing to compromise and learn, and to whatever extent the way that you're showing up is causing them distress, and vice versa, each learn new ways to, each seeing how maybe those are your shortcomings manifesting, your fears, your anxieties, your abandonment fears, whatever. Taking care of yourself in terms of those, and just not being reliant on the other person changing how they show up, because you can also change what you might be unhealthily expecting from them. But also, if they're not willing to lift a finger to, if the fact that how they're showing up is putting burden on you, and they're not willing to lift a finger to not be inflicting that on you, even if the connection is genuine, that's probably a sign that you're both mutually not ready to build that thing, to honor that connection, to build that thing that you might both be envisioning building together, that you are, if you're not actually in the moment, if it's not actually that dynamic that you're envisioning, I think some space is a good thing in that case. So yeah, you don't actually need that partnership, and you won't get that partnership if you are too attached to needing or wanting it. And I guess I don't know. Here's something. I don't know. I've spoken offhandedly about the porn thing that a lot of men in our society are dealing with, and I certainly have my if you go back to 9th grade or so, and then it evolves over time, but I have my own history of using porn, beating my stuff to it, because the social conditioning that that we all need to scratch those animal itches, like satisfy those animal desires. I don't know. I've talked a little bit about that. I've past 6 months or so been having a spiritual awakening, And, I grew up Episcopal, and definitely as a kid, the believe in God switch was flipped on in my meat robot parameters. And then, because it was through the prism of Christian dogma and Christian scripture, and it's easy to poke holes in Christian scripture, obviously. So somewhere in over the course of middle school and high school, the believe in God switch got flipped off. But then interestingly, through science classes over the years, learning about the self-similarity of the universe, the pattern that repeats through nature, the forces that guide the soup of atoms spinning around through the universe that we don't actually yet understand, that science acknowledges that we don't understand some of the fields and forces that are acting on things to make things the same at all scales. I guess I did still believe in some theological stuff, but from a scientifically rooted perspective. The Big Bang happened, and matter cannot be created nor destroyed, and energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So all the matter got distributed, and it's all spinning around and smashing into itself and all that. And then the 3 generations of stars made combined matter into new forms that didn't exist until that happened. And metal got heavier and heavier as a result of the fusion and fission of stars and all that. And as a result of all that happening, eventually the universe got to this point where the matter existed in the form that it needed to for earth-based, carbon-based life to even come to exist. Maybe we haven't encountered aliens because it took 3 generations of stars for the matter to get to the place that it needed to get to. And, I think that it seems clear that the universe is cooking something, and it's gotten to the point where it was capable of cooking us. And I think maybe we are just like barnacles on the hull of the ship, and wherever the ship is headed, maybe it's so beyond our capacity to perceive because it has nothing to do with anything that we are here meant to do. We are here to play our role for however long our species, planet, whatever, society, civilization lasts, but that we will play a role in where the universe winds up heading after us, but that we are not the destination point of it. But I basically did, from a scientific perspective, I guess, I still did believe in cosmic guiding divine force. And so now with this spiritual awakening, I guess what I've come to recognize is that my belief in God switch has been flipped back on, or never really was as flipped off as I thought it was. It had just changed shape. And my ability to believe in a higher consciousness that is above what our thinking mind can comprehend, but that you can tap into by elevating your consciousness, meditating, and connecting back to it. I think it's hard to deny that as a human being, sometimes it feels like that the universe is sending you signals. And that if you learn to trust your intuition and listen to your intuition to the best of your ability and obey those signals, things work out better than if you ignore them for you. So, I guess I've come to think that Well, first of all, the porn thing. I'm tying this all back to porn and sexuality and how we get conditioned to think that we are supposed to date and find a girlfriend or a boyfriend and a husband and a wife, yada, 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 even if we haven't done the work to find a dynamic that's not codependent. I don't know. Certainly, mainstream porn industry porn is horrible for your mind and for how you feel about yourself, for how you view yourself. Over the course of my time using internet content to satisfy urges, I went away from porn industry stuff because of how bad it felt. And eventually, thankfully there are all sorts of amateur creators these days who are in healthy relationships, having healthy congress, and sharing content that they enjoy making with the entire internet. And so I guess eventually I came to be using that, but also practicing more and more abstaining from using that over the years, because as I got more and more dating experience and found how much more satisfying, I guess, it is to save your energy for genuine interpersonal congress with someone you're connected to, like being in the habit of scratching that itch using the content online, it turns it into a visual thing for you, and it turns it into a private thing. It makes it harder to, I think a lot of women misunderstand where the porn thing comes from, the use of it, the habit. Like, they don't understand the vulnerability of from the male side of trying to maintain what you have to maintain and trying to give that to someone, and the mental freakouts that it can cause, and how scary it can be to try and be vulnerable in that way with another human, and to try and be enough for them, knowing how many men out there don't know how to be enough in a sexual way for their partners, how many women are left unsatisfied, having that in the back of your mind. And I think there's a lot of trying to perform what we get it communicated to us is what women want us to be. Anyway, taking care of your own self using internet content as a stimulus, it's a lot less vulnerable. It's getting to scratch the itch with none of the scary parts. But as I got more experience with actual partners and saw, now that I believe in this these chakras and vibrational levels, and I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like I said in one of the old videos, I'm trying to share what I know in these videos, but I'm also, you can't share what you know without sharing what you're ignorant of. So anyway, it does feel like letting yourself down, lowering your vibrational level. The more you can get out of the cycle of using porn and stuff, the more when you do relapse or whatever and go back to it, the more you can feel how that's not as fulfilling as keeping yourself pure from that stuff and saving it. It does, when you're with someone who you can who you have a real connection with and who you can trust, who's also showing up, you're both doing your part in showing up, it doesn't feel like letting yourself down. It doesn't feel like lowering your vibrational level. It feels holy. Not that you need to be perfect if you want to, I've just been exploring, I guess, celibacy or abstinence or whatever to the best of my ability. I've been imperfect in it, but it definitely, to whatever extent I've been successful with it, feels a lot better. And I'll also say, when I relapse or when I go back, that feels a lot worse. The more successful I am at not doing that, the worse it feels to go back. You don't have to be perfect at practicing it, but like, even just the more I practice it, the more clear my mind is, the more successful I am at like using my spare time to read and enrich myself and invest my energy. My downtime, there's less temptation to do that. And it's way easier to spend my energy on something I actually will see, a delayed gratification activity rather than an instant gratification activity. It's like I said, the less you do the instant gratification stuff, which is diminishing returns, the more instant gratification stuff you do, the less you actually enjoy it. The less of it you do, the more you enjoy it. You savor it when you do it. So yeah, I don't know. Some food for thought. I'm not saying everyone else should do what I'm doing, but I've been trying it. It's been feeling good. My mind is clearer, and it's easier to like engage with a human that I'm attracted to without my mind going there, and without putting any pressure on myself to take any steps to try and achieve some goal relative to that. You're just interacting with another human, talking about whatever is the topic at hand, and you're not distracted by anyway. I I'll fully confess, I have yet to actually successfully build like a healthy dynamic that lasts with somebody, which is kind of part of why I've felt guided to try some fucking different approaches here, so you don't need a woman. If you're a woman who wants a man, you don't need a man. If you're a man who wants whoever you are, you don't need a woman, you don't need a man, you don't need a non-binary partner. Like, you need to figure out how to, or I don't know, you need to, who am I to say? For me, it feels good to be enough for myself, and those lightning bolt people, you do find them every now and again. You can't control when you do. And it's clear to me now that if there's lessons I still haven't learned, that even though I found that lightning bolt person, it just goes sideways. So maybe if I just keep working on myself, building the life that I want, letting my connection to source, to the higher cosmic guiding power, God, Krishna, whatever you want to call it, be enough, letting the fact that I'm getting these signals and I have these things that I feel called to do, like make these videos and try to help people, spending my time on that stuff that really fills me up and makes me feel fulfilled, be enough. Maybe someday I'll encounter a lightning bolt person again, and that person will be on a similar wavelength to me, and it'll work out. And if not, that's cool too. The inner peace, being alone and trying to level myself up and trying to give what I can to the world, is far, far, far better than the, emotional roller coaster of trying to make something work with someone when it's not working. So anyway, just one 25-year-old moron's perspective. Peace, love, joy, gratitude, abundance, safety, health, more life. Live your life. Be present and live your life. Don't be caught in the social media, video game, porn cycle and letting time pass you by. All right. Have a good one, y'all.